How to find the time to create when you're already drowning with a lot of client work?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I actually think about this all the time because I think back to when I was starting Design Academy and I had all the client work and I was just treading water. And I think, okay, if that thing with Client Portal didn't happen, and knowing what I know now, what would I have done to get that off the ground? And I think it's a really hard situation to be in. It's really hard because you need your client work because you need to pay your bills, you need to pay the mortgage and put food on the table and do all that kind of stuff. So that really is always going to be the most important thing. It's hard to justify spending a lot of time on something that isn't helping with that. So what I would say is, this is going to work differently for everyone, but what I would do if I was back in that situation is I would say, okay, every Wednesday or something, I'd probably do it middle of the week. End of the week, you're too kind of excited for the weekend. And start of the week, it's too crazy. But maybe like a Wednesday or something would be my product day, right? And that would be the day where I don't do any client work. My clients know that, and I focus on the product. Now, the most important thing here is one day to work on your product is not a lot of time, and it's still going to be really hard. Just carving out a day is not going to make your product launch. So what's really important is that this Wednesday becomes so incredibly important that you achieve and ship something. It doesn't matter what it is, but you don't want to be treading water. You don't want to say, oh, Wednesday, maybe I'll write a bit of a blog post and maybe I'll do some email my list or something like that, and maybe I'll do this. And you want to say, okay, at the start of Wednesday, almost think of it like a hackathon, right? At the start of Wednesday, this is what I'm going to do. By the end of Wednesday, this is what I need to have done. And even if it's not as polished as I would like it, even if I really want to go back and just change a bunch of it, this is what I have to do. And maybe that's creating a landing page, for example, because everyone needs a landing page. So you start the day, you write your landing page, you build it, and you absolutely have to launch it that day. And the reason that's really important is because one day a week is, that's 4 days a month. So you have to be able to achieve a lot in that day. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think that's, to be honest, the best way. And the reason I'm not also saying spend your weekends or evenings doing that is because personally, for me, I don't feel like that's sustainable. For you or your listeners, maybe that is. Maybe at the weekend, you are so excited about this product and you just want to jump in and do it all weekend. And if that's you, go for it. Because when you're in those moods, when you're so excited and all you can think about is doing this project, you're going to make the best headway and you're going to do so well. So if that's you, don't listen to anything I said, just go for it. If you're anything like me and you like relaxing at the weekend or maybe doing something, or you just feel burnt out from all the client work, you're not going to do your best work and you need time off basically. So that's why I'm saying don't do a weekend, do a middle of the week day. But like I said, everyone's different. And if that doesn't work for you, try and figure out why and what works with your personality type. But the most important thing is everything you do should be moving the needle. And I still think this today. So sometimes I get stuck in a trap where, I have my product, it's all clocking along nicely, and I'll spend weeks sometimes not really achieving anything except an empty inbox. And so I'll get into these phases and I'll say, okay, no matter what I do today, something needs to move the needle. I need to achieve something really decent. And those times are when my business really goes well.
This is great insight. Like you said, sustainability is the most important part of it, because, these the surges of energy to put on a project doesn't last long. Like the energy is very finite source. So having dedicated like a month, the entire day of the week in the middle, or even reserving a few hours of your time every day to move the needle also is a great step towards creating a product. isn't
Yeah.
it?
Or
So
even a week, a month, it could be
yeah,
anything as long as it's dedicated time.
right, absolutely. This is very interesting.